Imagine for a moment, you were in the dusty, cluttered attic of an old house you recently acquired. Sunlight struggles to break through the grimy glass, illuminating dust particles dancing in the air. You move an old dresser and notice that a few floorboards underneath look different. Driven by curiosity, you pry them up and discover a hidden space. Your heart begins to beat faster. Inside, covered in cobwebs, lies a small iron-bound chest. Your hands tremble as you wipe away the dirt and struggle to open the rusty lock, and your eyes are blinded by the deep, warm glow of hundreds of gold coins. Sounds like a scene from a movie, right? But what if I told you this isn't fiction? This is a reality that happens far more often than you might imagine. Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel. We delve into the most incredible stories of lost treasures and amazing finds. And today we have a topic that stirs the imagination. What really happens when ordinary people find real treasures? We will look at real, documented cases where people stumbled upon chests of gold, and we will follow the fate of these treasures and those who found them. And most importantly, we will figure out what you should do from a legal standpoint if one day such incredible luck smiles upon you. So get comfortable and be sure to watch this video to the end. And of course, if you like mysteries, adventures, and stories of hidden riches, consider subscribing and hitting the bell. Believe me, after today's episode, you will start looking at old houses and abandoned lots with completely new eyes. Every one of us had a fantasy of treasure hunting in childhood, whether it was an old pirate map found in a book or stories of knights hiding their riches. The idea of stumbling upon a chest full of gold doubloons was pure magic. As adults, we set these dreams aside, labeling them as childish fairy tales. But we are mistaken. Stories of found treasures are not just legends. They are real events happening all over the world, often in the most unexpected places. Sometimes you don't need to go on distant expeditions. It's enough to simply start a renovation in the basement or decide to dig up an old stump in the backyard. Everyday chores can turn into the adventure of a lifetime overnight, proving that miracles still exist, hidden right under our noses. Imagine an ordinary couple from North Yorkshire, England. They decided to renovate their kitchen in an 18th century house where they had lived for more than 10 years. When the workers began to dismantle the old concrete floor, they stumbled across something unusual: a small clay cup the size of a soda can. Inside were gold coins. This find, made in 2019, consisted of more than 260 gold coins dating from 1610 to 1727. They belonged to a wealthy and influential merchant family who lived in the house. At auction, this hoard was sold for an astonishing £754,000, about $850,000. Now let's jump to California, to the heart of gold country. In 2013, a couple walking their dog on their own property noticed a rusted can partially sticking out of the ground under an old tree. Out of curiosity, they dug it up and were stunned to find gold coins inside. Returning to the same spot with a metal detector, they found 7 more cans filled to the brim with gold. This hoard, named the Ridge Hoard, consisted of 1,427 coins, minted between 1847 and 1894. Their condition was almost perfect, indicating they had hardly been in circulation. The total face value was $27,000, but their market value as rare collectibles was estimated at over $10 million, making it one of the most valuable hoards ever found in the US. And here is another incredible story from France. In 2020, a man who inherited a house in Normandy decided to get rid of the old furniture that was sitting there unused. As he began to move the items, he discovered that some of them were suspiciously heavy. Treasures were hidden inside. First, he found a box of coins screwed to the bottom of one piece of furniture, then another in a whiskey box, and finally a huge pile of gold bars and coins hidden under a pile of linen. The total weight of the gold was over 100 kilograms. The find, which included 5,000 gold coins, 2 12-kilogram bars, and 37 1-kilogram bars, was sold at auction for several million euros. What makes these finds so incredibly valuable? Of course, the value of gold itself as a precious metal is significant, But very often, the historical and numismatic value of the coins and artifacts far exceeds the value of the raw material. Each coin is a time capsule, a tiny artifact that can tell us a story. Take, for example, the Ridge Hoard. These coins were not just money, they were a testament to the California gold rush era. Experts believe that someone, perhaps a successful gold prospector or businessman, systematically saved these coins, creating their personal bank in the ground, possibly due to a distrust of paper money and banks of that time. Their near-perfect condition increases their value, but it is the story they tell about the life and fears of a 19th century person that makes them truly priceless. The numismatic value is determined by several factors: the rarity of the coin, its year of issue, the mint where it was struck, and most importantly, its condition or grade. Even a small scratch can reduce the value by thousands of dollars. That is why when such hoards are discovered, they are carefully studied and appraised by professional numismatic services. They don't just determine the price, they decipher the history locked in within the metal.
And now for the most important question. What should you do if you find a treasure? Can you just keep it? The answer to this question is complex and varies drastically depending on where you are in the world. The finder's keeper's principle is mostly a myth. In the United States, laws can vary greatly from state to state. Generally, if you find a treasure on your own land, it belongs to you. This is what happened with the couple who found the Ridge Hoard. Since the hoard was on their property, they became its legal owners. However, if you find something on someone else's private property, it usually belongs to the landowner. And finds on state or federal land are governed by strict laws such as the Archaeological Resources Protection Act, and almost always belong to the state. In the United Kingdom, there is a very clear law called the Treasure Act 1996. Under this law, you are required to report your find to the local coroner within 14 days if you believe it to be treasure. Treasure is usually defined as any metallic object other than single coins that is at least 300 years old, or a group of coins of the same age. If a museum decides to acquire the find, an independent committee determines its market value, which is then paid as a reward, equally divided between the finder and the landowner. This is what was done with the famous Staffordshire Hoard, the largest hoard of Anglo-Saxon gold ever found by an amateur treasure hunter. In many other countries, such as France or Italy, any finds of archaeological or historical value automatically become the property of the state. Although the finder may be entitled to a reward, it is usually a percentage of the estimated value. The main takeaway here is that hiding such a find is illegal almost everywhere and can lead to serious consequences. The wisest and safest step is to immediately report your find to the authorities and seek legal advice. Incredible stories like these have inspired a whole generation of modern treasure hunters, armed not with old maps, but with modern metal detectors, GPS navigators, and online archives. These enthusiasts comb through fields, beaches, and forests in the hope of their own unique find. For many, it's just a hobby, a way to get out into nature and touch history. But sometimes they get incredibly lucky. Remember Terry Herbert, the unemployed metal detector enthusiast who in 2009 stumbled upon the Staffordshire Hoard in a farmer's field? His find, consisting of over 4,600 items of gold and silver, completely rewrote our understanding of Anglo-Saxon England. Or Kevin Hillier, another British treasure hunter, who found one of the earliest groups of Iron Age gold coins ever discovered in Britain. These stories prove that treasures are still waiting to be found. They can be hidden everywhere, walled up in old mansions, buried under the floors of abandoned farms, or just lying a few inches underground in an ordinary-looking field. The key to success is a combination of research, persistence, and of course, a huge amount of luck. I hope this journey into the world of hidden treasures was as exciting for you as it was for me. As you can see, finding a chest of gold is not just a Hollywood fantasy. It is a real, though rare, possibility for some lucky people. These finds not only change the lives of those who discover them, but also give us a priceless window into the past, allowing us to touch the lives of people who lived hundreds of years ago. And who knows, maybe the next incredible find is waiting for its moment somewhere near you. The main thing to remember is, if you get lucky, act wisely and according to the law. Have you ever dreamed of finding a treasure? Or maybe you've found something unusual or ancient in your home or backyard? Share your stories in the comments below. I would be very interested to read them. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss our next adventures. Thank you for watching and see you soon.